Welcome back to the Data Protection Diaries, welcome back to the vlog. In today's video we are going to be talking about marketing, specifically marketing permissions, to those little permission statements that you see, particularly those little permission statements that you might see on websites when you're buying a product, registering for a service. Obviously the intention of those is to get you to opt in, to get you to say yes so that they can offer you other products and services. But what is the best way to do that? And also, how can you make sure that you're doing it to make sure that you're compliant with the GDPR and, more importantly than anything, PECR. If you are new to the channel, please do make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We release videos at 4:30 p.m. every single Wednesday. There's also a little notification bell that you can hit as well that will tell you when an upload has gone live. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. We do really appreciate you joining us. Make sure that you comment your thoughts down below, and of course hit like on this video. It just does a massive favor for us here as well. But now let's get on with what we want to talk about today. In marketing permissions. Marketing permissions became a real big topic of conversation back in 2018 when the GDPR first came into force. The challenge that most people had was what they had been advised, or the advice they had been given, or the advice that was taken, was that you had to now have explicit opt-in consent to be able to market to anybody. This caused huge problems for a whole number of different organizations. People were deleting entire mailing lists because they thought that they had to have specific opt-in consent to be able to market to people. They changed their marketing permission statements. Companies lost the ability to market to endless numbers of people. And there was even a football club, I think they went down from 500,000 subscribers to about 2,000 subscribers just because they thought those people had to opt in to receive their marketing. Now, of course, this is damaging for the organization because to be able to tell people about your products, of course, you need to be able to market, but it was also damaging for GDPR and data protection as an industry because it just made everybody think that the rules had been changed so significantly that they were being counterintuitive to the way organizations work, and stuff was getting in the way. Legislation was getting in the way of how to run a business, and sadly that wasn't the case. The first thing to point out is that the rules around electronic marketing, so email, SMS, is actually governed by something called the Privacy and Electronic Communications Regulations. It is not governed by the GDPR. Now, for this video, we're not going to go into the detailed depth of consent under GDPR, how that covers across to PECR and what that means, because we're not going to be talking about that here today. There is another video on the channel about that. If you click here, you'll be able to see that video, and that explains in more detail the difference between opt-in, soft opt-in, and consent when you're looking at marketing and when you need to use them. In this video, what we're looking at is how to make your permission statement customer friendly, engaging, and what you can do to make sure that you're getting the most number of people signing up to get emails about your products and services. So you've got your e-commerce page, you've got your organization, you've got your contact form, you are collecting information, somebody is purchasing a product, somebody is asking for a quotation about your product or a service. The next thing that you want to do is to be able to communicate with those people on a more regular basis. You want to be able to tell them about offers, you want to be able to tell them about other products and services. This is where you're going to need to collect some kind of marketing permissions. There are two types of marketing permissions that one can collect in these kind of circumstances. The first one is obviously opt-in consent, which is a clear affirmative indication of a person's wishes. Now that would normally be a tick box, something to say, yes, I would like to receive marketing, or by submitting this form, I accept, I've agreed to receive marketing. But it can also be something called the soft opt-in. Now this is what comes from the Privacy and Electronic Communications Regulations. The soft opt-in allows an organization, a provider, a business to essentially opt somebody into their marketing program if that individual has purchased a product or is registering an interest in purchasing a product or service, and at the point that that transaction is carried out, so at the point that information is collected, that individual is given the opportunity to object, to say, I don't want to receive any marketing materials. And of course, they are then given the opportunity to unsubscribe from any kind of mailing list with every single communication, every marketing communication that you send. Soft opt-in is an incredibly powerful option when you are looking at trying to build your marketing database. Because you already have a customer who has a registered interest in your products, in your services, they are already buying something. So giving them the opportunity to tell them about the other things that you do and the other things that you sell is obviously the best possible thing that you can do. How you do that is very, very important. There is no point in creating a marketing permission statement that is confusing, that kind of indicates that you're in, that you're out, but if you don't tick this, then you'll be unsubscribed, and if you do tick it, you won't be unsubscribed. Don't make that marketing permission statement confusing. If you want to use soft opt-in, and it is a very, very useful tool to use, make sure that your permission statement is really simple, really clear. Explain the kind of things that you might want to market to them. Is it additional offers? Is it other products and services? How often would those things likely come out? Is it going to be every single day? Is it going to be weekly? Is it going to be from time to time? The clearer you are, and the more understanding an individual can get about the kind of service they're going to receive, about the kind of emails they're going to receive, the more likely somebody is going to be to not opt out. So the more likely they're going to be to say, do you know what, I'm happy to receive this information, I'm happy to receive this kind of marketing. For me, there has always been a very clear difference when looking at kind of consumer mindsets and the way customers react between ad hoc offer kind of emails. So here we're having a sale, there's an offer on this particular product, we think you might be interested, and newsletters, regular targeted mailings that come out weekly, fortnightly, daily, whatever it may be. There is always a very clear distinction in customers' minds about what kind of information they want to receive. In my experience, if somebody is happy to receive marketing, they kind of expect that to be ad hoc, specific, tailored to a particular product, tailored to a particular offer or service. When somebody signs up for marketing, they don't generally want to receive regular emails, regular newsletters. And I have seen situations where huge swathes of people have unsubscribed when they thought they were suddenly going to receive regular, consistent emails. If that is something that you want to do, so if you want to send out a newsletter, so you want to have an industry-specific targeted newsletter, my advice or my recommendation is that you actually have that as a separate option. Don't combine that within your marketing permission. Have that as its own opt-in tick box option. So we also have a newsletter. Is that something that you would be interested in? Click here for yes, rather than relying on the soft opt-in option, because I do think the two things need to be very separate. The other option that you have is that if you want to provide information around a range of products and services, you may find it beneficial to actually break down those different products and services into different categories and allow people to opt in to receiving the information that they want to receive about different products and services. There's a very, very good kind of example of this, if you ever wanted to go and have a look at it, from Merlin Entertainment, which are the people that own Alton Towers, they own Madame Tussauds, I think Legoland Windsor, and lots of other kind of big theme park and big kind of tourist attractions. Now, if you actually go through their subscription process for their marketing, they do actually break it down by age range. So they know that some people might want to go to Alton Towers when they're older, but they might be more interested in going to Madame Tussauds and the London Dungeons or whatever it may be later on in life. So it actually gives you the opportunity to unsubscribe from different age ranges of attractions, so that as a family you can move through that process and you can only be marketed to about the things that you want to see. It is a very, very good way of clarifying your mailing list while still ensuring that you're remaining compliant with the Privacy Electronic Communications regulations and GDPR, while also maintaining trust and also maintaining the kind of understanding of your customer base. If you take anything away from this, for me, it's understanding that marketing doesn't have to be the devil. Marketing doesn't have to always be seen as a hindrance or an annoyance. Most people get annoyed about marketing because they receive marketing about things that they are not interested in, that they have not asked for, or that is unsolicited. It's just coming to them out of the blue. People that want to receive marketing obviously don't complain. They are hearing about the things that they want to hear about. They are seeing the information that they want to see, and it is of benefit to them. You are far better off having a small, very engaged mailing list than you are having a massive mailing list full of people who just instantly delete your emails on the basis that it might be useful, but you keep emailing on the basis that it might be useful at a later date. Think about your marketing strategy. Think about your permission statement. Think about how you can get people to subscribe, how you can get people to opt in, and also think about how that's going to look, how you can map that out, and how you can be compliant with PECR. And I think you'll find that being compliant doesn't necessarily mean not being able to do business. As always, this is a fairly succinct view on the world. If you do have any questions, obviously pop those down below, or you will catch my email address at the end of this video. If you have stayed this long, please do give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.